What's your client's name?
Sam.
Sam. So does that hurt?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
What does it feel like?
It just kind of tears at you a little bit.
Oh.
It's pins, you know.
Do you have people freaking out ever? No, it doesn't hurt that bad.
No, it's all 100% based on the person. Like some people have a high pain tolerance, some don't. Some people can sit in one spot for a long time, but some people can't.
Right.
So,
How long does it take to do, like, say this? Are you doing the whole arm, a portion of the arm?
Yeah, so eventually we'll do everything here, everything that's open. But the way I work is I usually start around 9 a.m. and I work till about 3.
Okay.
So.
For one client?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, especially.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like a whole sleeve would be like 5 sessions at like 6 or 7 hours a piece. So.
Jeez, I did not realize that. I guess you do. I mean, what do you do if you mess up? Because we're humans.
You
don't?
No.
But don't some of them mess up? Like, I think I might mess up.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely.
At some point. I've always messed up at my job. So.
Right. I've seen mess ups.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times where like I've seen other people spell names wrong.
Oh yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah, that leads to another point of mine. A question I wanted to ask was, how many people do you get that come in and want those names covered up?
Well.
What do you do with that?
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of
boyfriend,
times,
girlfriend thing, and didn't work out.
A lot of times what I'll do is recommend laser to them, laser removal.
Do you do that?
No.
Okay.
No. I have a guy that I know that does, that I refer people to. So basically what he'll do is he'll hit the tattoo about 3, 4, 5 sessions, and then it'll lighten it up enough to where I can cover it up better.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is he taking off just the skin parts?
No, so how that works is when the laser hits the tattoo, it breaks up the ink particles in the skin, and then your body absorbs it.
Oh, whoa.
So each time it absorbs more and more, and then the tattoo is gone.
That's fascinating. Wow.
Yeah.
And your body will keep absorbing the ink for up to 8 weeks. From
8 weeks.
The first laser session, so 8 weeks every day. It'll slowly.
Does it absorb it when you're doing it?
When you're.
How does that work? Like when you're doing the tattoo, is your body absorbing it?
Yeah. So basically, what happens is it goes under a couple layers of your skin and then just sits there. So it's not going inside your body all the way. It's just under a few layers of skin. Right.
Okay.
So it sits right there, and that's why it stays, because it sits in between those layers of skin, you know?
Got it. So how do they fade? Like the sunshine? I'm stupid right now.
So, well, your body, you know, you're constantly shedding skin, you know, so as those layers of skin come off, it fades,
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that dumb. I was laughing at myself just because I asked a stupid question. I guess no question is stupid, is it? Well, that's why I wanted to do this, because I've always wondered about it, you know, and I've never really met anybody that does it.
Yeah.
So I just wondered what this was like, and it's pretty fascinating to me that y'all can just do that on, like, whatever. Do you do a certain type of tattoo? Like, say I came in and I said, all right, I want to do Frosty the Snowman on whatever, my neck or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, would you do that?
Depends. It depends. I have morals, so like.
See, I knew. Yep.
I'm not gonna tattoo some like young person on their neck and ruin their life.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
See,
so I
there
don't
you
do
go.
that type of thing.
Good.
Yeah, and like if you come into me and you're heavily tattooed, I'll tattoo your neck. But
So, okay, so I understand that point. When you say young, I mean, do they have to be 18? Is there a certain age limit?
yes. So in the state of Texas, you have to be 18 years old.
Okay.
There is no consent from parents in the state of Texas.
Okay.
So
as long as they're 18.
Yes. Look, so in other states, you can be 16 and have a parent with you, but not in Texas.
So why do you say the neck you wouldn't do if they didn't? Like, what's
We call the neck and hands, we call them job stoppers. Because
that
in
hurt?
Texas, you're definitely not going to get a job with a neck tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, see?
Yeah. So, like, you got to think about that. And a lot of
Yeah.
youngsters aren't thinking in the future,
No, they're not.
I'm not going to want a big neck tattoo to where I can't get a job,
Right.
you know?
Oh,
So,
hands and neck, is that the only?
yeah, that's
Right.
usually about the only areas that I.
So I remember I considered getting one a long time ago, you know, when the tramp stamp was,
yeah.
was famous. Remember those days?
Yep.
I'm aging myself, but that's all right. So I was going to do it, but then I thought, you know what? As I get old, my skin starts sagging. Won't the tattoo?
So, people ask
I
me
mean-
that a lot. People ask me, like, well, what are you going to do when you get older?
Yeah.
I just say I'm going to look older. Like, so
It
if my
doesn't
tattoo-
sag when,
No, it
you know,
just,
like.
it's a part of you, you know? So, like, if you're already kind of saggy, the tattoo's
Then
going
it's
to
gonna be
match.
saggy.
You know? So, like,
Yeah.
it just depends on, it depends a lot on what part of the body. Like,
Well, what if I was heavy and then I lost a bunch of weight? It's just gonna stay there.
yeah, that's what I mean by, like, depends on the part of the body. So, like, if, for instance, if I tattooed a woman on her stomach
Uh-huh.
and then she got pregnant and had a baby,
Yes.
that would be destroyed.
It was
Exactly, 'cause
stretched
it's
out.
stretched out.
Yeah. So when it stretches out like that, it's okay still, but then when it goes back in, there's stretch marks through it and there's all kinds of issues. So I tell women, like, if you ever plan on having kids, don't get your stomach tattooed.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
things like that, to where, you know, everyone might not think of it. But
No,
like,
I wouldn't have.
Right, but, you know, that's my job, is to
Exactly.
make sure
That's
you know.
awesome. Yeah, for sure. So what parts hurt the worst? Bone parts, like with little fat, or is that a?
Kind of
is that a
depends
real-
on the person and their pain tolerance.
Say I wanted to do one on my knee.
Knees typically hurt, front
Ankle.
and back of knee. I'd say that the inside of the arm is pretty sensitive.
Is it?
So areas that don't get a lot of sun are going to be more sensitive because they don't have, like, they haven't built up any kind of tolerance or anything.
What about your head? I see some people with that on their head.
It is very painful. You
Oh
know,
my
all
God.
your nerves are coming to an
I
end
know.
right there. So,
That's
Right.
probably the worst.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
tattooed several people's heads, and like,
Were they screaming? Oh my god.
it depends on the person. You know, like I tattooed a female's head, all her whole hairline, all the way around, and she was
She took
ashamed.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not that brave. That's pretty brave. Did she have a tattoo before that though?
Oh yeah. She
Would
was,
you do it if I had nothing on me? I came in and I said, hey, I want my head tattooed for some reason.
I
You wouldn't do
would-
it. Why?
Just because.
I've never used to have a tattoo and that's a hard spot. It's
Yeah,
painful.
it's very hard. It's very like, it's grueling. You know,
Yeah.
like to get your head tattooed all day long, and that's several sessions too. So it's a commitment that you really gotta want.
So do you have a specialty? Like I saw you did the roses. Is there a specialty that you do or?
So he's known for his floral and his animals.
Okay.
I actually have one of his floral tattoos on my neck.
Oh wow,
here.
take a look at that.
And
Wow,
then
that's
I
now
have
that did that hurt?
You know what? He made it not so painful. He
What
was
did
really
do? Like,
gentle.
did you ban it?
She's just tough. That's all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Then I have an owl on my back that he's starting. We're working on doing a whole back piece to win some awards.
Ah, so you're the award winner, huh?
Trying to be.
Yeah, well you are, but
He's the award winner.
she's
I'm just the model.
there,
Yeah.
that's
Right. Yeah.
You're the one willing and able.
Yeah.
You'd have to take the pain because around the shoulders, wouldn't that hurt? The shoulder blades, wouldn't that hurt?
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm ticklish on my back, so I can't imagine. Like,
Right. You know, the pain wise thing is like, it all just depends on how much you want it.
do you do
know?
any numbing creams or anything like that?
Yeah, there are pre-numb creams that you can use, which you put on prior to coming in.
Like lidocaine or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, it has like 0.05% lidocaine, so
Okay.
it's not much. However, some artists don't like you using that stuff, so
Because
like,
it might mess it up.
yeah, for the public out there, always ask your artist, you know.
Yeah.
It. Some artists think it could mess up the tattoo.
What do you think?
I don't think so. I use it every day.
With lotion?
No. No.
Nothing like that.
No. It like if you're healing it, I recommend lotion. So, and they actually have now this stuff called Sanoderm, which is it's used in hospitals, and it's basically like a clear cover that goes over the whole tattoo when it's healing, and it sticks to your body and it stays on there for 5 days.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a Band-Aid or
Yeah, it's basically like a huge Band-Aid, and you leave it on there, and when you take it off, most of the time it's healed.
And that is because the skin's open and you could get an infection?
Yes. Yeah.
So what are the guidelines say somebody wants to be a tattoo artist? What would they go through?
So generally, I always recommend to have an apprenticeship. I've taught 3 people how to tattoo, so they did an apprenticeship under me, and it's generally like a year-long process.
Okay.
They come in and I just have them like work the shop, you know, work the front counter, do all that stuff, and they kind of get a feel for like what a tattoo shop is about,
Right.
how to speak to clients, all that stuff.
Right.
And then once they get real good with that, then I'll start teaching them how to tattoo.
And is that a paid position or is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So they do that for a year with you. Now, what does the state require?
So the state requires, well, first off, the health department just stops in whenever they want.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they just actually came by the other day.
Did they?
Yeah.
What do they check out? Your tools and
Yeah,
sanitary?
yeah. But like I said, I used to own shops, so
Yeah, you
I know what to do.
It's very similar to TDLR, like what they do for
Yeah,
hospitalists.
TDLR.
Yeah.
But it's the city?
Yeah. Yeah, so since it's the state health inspector,
Okay.
they send out their own people.
Yeah.
Is that just for tattoo artists then? Like say for this like building, the hairdressers don't do all that?
Right, the
Yeah.
hairdressers, they just have TDLR
TDLR.
that comes in and checks for sanitation.
Right.
So the state health inspectors are our version of TDLR.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you don't have TDLR too?
No, we don't enter to TDLR. All we have to have is the health services.
So how'd y'all meet? Tattooing?
She actually used to cut hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you cut hair?
Yeah, so she cut my hair for a long time.
Oh, there you go. I
Yeah.
thought it, see, it wasn't even through the tattoo process,
No,
was it?
not
Did you
this
have
time.
tattoos before?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got both of my arms done and stuff on my legs.
So what do you do if somebody regrets getting one? You have to do that laser thing again? Or do
You would have to, for sure. You'd have
you
to
just talk to
laser
the,
it.
can you redesign something? Add
Yeah.
onto it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, and a lot of times, like, say somebody goes somewhere else and they're not happy with their tattoo, they'll come to me, and then a lot of times I'll fix it for them. You know.
So what are they usually, what do they come in, or they say they're unhappy, what are they unhappy with, the drawing, the look of it? I mean,
Yeah,
just
I would say the look of it, the execution of the actual tattooing.
the execution, talk about that.
Yeah, so when you're tattooing somebody, you really
More of this stuff.
gotta like pay attention to everything, you know, like their skin, how old they are, like it all makes a difference in the tattoo. And
So like for an example, right now you're doing part of the, is that part of a leaf?
Yeah.
Is it a leaf?
yeah,
How much will you do today for him?
so I'll probably get done like you know, that flower I already did, this one, and potentially add like some up here.
Okay.
So I'd say like this big of a space per session.
That's what you do for 4 hours, 5
Yeah.
hours or something
Yeah.
like that?
Right.
So do people get them for meaning? Do they get them because they're cool? I mean,
both.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I have one client that he's covered more than me, and every tattoo he has meaning. You know.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas like me, I don't think I have one that has meaning. You know,
Okay, I got you.
so-
Just do what you like.
Yeah, and if it doesn't have meaning, it's just art.
Do you
know?
warn like younger people, hey, you might not be with this chick?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You may not be with her in 10 years or him in 10 years.
I'm very blunt about that.
Good, good, because I don't think they think that far ahead, right? They're in love, you know.
Right.
How many times
I
have we
mean-
been in love throughout our life as an adult?
Yeah,
But
and I gotta be honest. I mean, I've made that mistake.
Did
know?
you?
Oh yeah.
What'd you do with it?
I'm still getting it removed.
Oh. Oh wow. Okay. Does it hurt?
Yeah.
It does. Now that hurts much
Yeah.
worse than this.
Yes.
I bet.
The removal part of it is very painful.
Yeah, I did a little laser. I couldn't deal with it. Like I couldn't deal.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
thought that hurt. Like it felt like they were electrocuting me.
Yeah.
it's like
burns.
a rubber
Hair
band
removal or
snapping.
something?
Yes, that.
Sunburn, yeah.
Yeah, and it burnt.
Mhm.
Like oh, I can't do all this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not pleasant. The cool thing though about getting the tattoo removed is it won't last longer than like 3 minutes. So he's just like.
So
real
do
quick.
people pay in sessions when they do this? The size of the tattoo? How does that work?
So I have like a day rate,
Okay.
and so they'll come in. It'll be for a full day, and then they pay that day rate that day.
Got it. So they could get anything designed within that time allowance.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's
pretty
not based
much.
upon. It's based upon the day. It's at time.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, for instance, if I have a client coming in and we've been working on a sleeve,
Yeah.
I'll design the next portion of it. They come in, then I'll put the stencil on them. Well, obviously make sure they like it and everything.
What's a stencil? What do you mean?
So the
Is that your-
stencil, yeah. So this machine right here,
Yeah.
it
I was wondering what that was.
yeah, it's called a thermofax machine.
Thermofax.
Yeah. So basically, back in the 50s, before they had printers, that's how they duplicated documents.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I use that, and I put a piece of paper in between thermofax paper, and it prints it onto that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Flower up there?
Yeah, similar to that. It prints it on a piece of paper, and then I take that, I stick it on there, take it away, and it's got, see the purple right there?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the stencil.
Oh whoa! So
Yeah.
you have a guideline.
Yeah.
That's cool. How
Yeah.
much does a machine like that cost?
That one's 2,500.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Pretty expensive. What
Yeah.
kind of equipment would a person need besides this and your tools? I mean,
So basically, like, if you're a one-man show like me, you gotta have all of it, you know?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
generally at a tattoo shop, they'll just have one thermofax, like, in the back. So everyone uses it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, you need your machines, inks. Yeah.
So what's the difference? Just the coloring? Is that the? I mean, is that
Yeah.
all it is?
For the most part, there's different brands in there as well.
Is there one you stick to? Do you have a brand yet, or
No, I
Fusion?
like Fusion. I like a lot of different brands. to be
Dynamic,
honest.
Eternal.
Yeah.
And why do you like them? Does it last longer? I mean, what? It's easier to work with. I mean, is it a different consistency or what?
All of those things. Yeah, it's most of all a different consistency. Like some ink is thicker than other ink, so it'll go in the skin better.
Yeah.
You know, and there's tricks to doing it where you can water down your ink more and make it look like real soft and like there's so many
Got it.
different things too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing to do in this in your
Uh,
artwork? What's your favorite? Do you have one?
yeah, I really like tattooing animals.
Okay.
That's like my thing for sure.
I see that. In your
Yeah.
pictures. Is there any animal or?
Yeah, anything's cool with me. You know.
So I
like-
want a parrot. Is that an animal? That's
Oh yeah, I can pull off a parrot for sure.
That's pretty bad, isn't it? I didn't know if it was an animal or. What about a fish? That's not an animal.
That's. Is it? What's a
You're
fish
trying not to
say?
laugh right now. She is. She's. You can laugh. It's okay. I laugh at myself all the time. So what is your goal to win the next contest or?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have so like she said, I was working on her back.
I'm actually wearing a backless shirt if you want to see.
Yeah, let's see it. Is it halfway done?
Halfway
Yeah,
done, yeah.
it's
So
check
this
this out.
is, what, 14 hours worth of work?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So,
Woo! Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But it's not done yet.
No.
Does it? You need to hurt so much. Boy, that's a lot of work, a lot of
Yeah.
detail.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of the lady on the side?
She's just a Day of the Dead, like
Dawn of the Dead.
Day of the Dead, like
The Mexican
Mexican holiday
Oh.
to celebrate their loved ones.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually done by one
And
of our
you have
mutual friends.
a name here?
No, it's
Oh.
Latin. Semper ad valorem.
Oh, so you're Latina.
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
She likes.
I wasn't
wish-
sure if
I
you were
wish
blonde.
I were.
You wish you were. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I wasn't sure. Can you pause that for a second? So, I'm in marketing, and that's what we're doing is we're doing some marketing here and having a conversation and getting to know what you do. If I were to do a search and I wanted to, what would I do? What would I enter into Google to find you? Do you think? How do you think you'll pop up?
So you could just start writing my name, and I usually pop up like very quickly.
So your brand is your name.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
very important. And your URL has your name.
Yes.
Yeah, so DM is his initials, so David Mushaney.
Okay.
So yeah, if you were to type in DM, he pops up. If you just start typing in David M, he pops up.
Oh, really?
If you
Because
go on
that's a popular
Pinterest,
search.
yeah, you can go on Pinterest and type in like a animal tattoo, and his work will pop up on Pinterest.
Have you been online a long time since you've been doing this?
Yeah. Like when Instagram first came out, I jumped right on board
Good.
and instantly got like 40,000 followers.
Whoa.
So like
I can't even do that.
yeah, so that's why like now I think I'm at like 60 or something like
Are
that.
you?
Yeah. But
That's right.
I think that that's huge in this
That is huge.
industry,
That is really
you know.
huge.
So like
It's so competitive, right?
yeah, and like it just shows like how much tattooing is coming up, you know.
Do you think it'll ever go away?
No,
It's a solid job, right?
it's a solid job, definitely, and it, contrary probably to popular belief, I make a lot of money.
I bet you have.
So
It's not cheap.
yeah, it's not cheap. So like, it's a great career, is what I'm trying to say, for a young person to pursue.
And really, they don't have to go to college. They don't have to, spend all that money. They do an apprenticeship, and
Right.
and then they're ready to go. And
Yeah.
then they're learning while they're learning the whole ins and outs, right?
Yeah.
I think
and
that's a
it's-
better way to do things anyway.
Oh yeah, it's like going to trade school.
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
So
That's exactly what it's like.
and
Would you typically hire that person then after apprenticeship
Oh,
if
yeah.
they needed it, or
yeah, so generally the way it works is I charge a sum of money for them to teach them, but I provide all of the equipment,
Okay.
everything. So basically that money's paying for their equipment.
Got it.
And then once they start tattooing and doing well, then they pay me back.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it gives you like a fighting chance.
So I'll be honest. Every time I go by a tattoo place, I always see men.
Yeah.
Women don't do this, or what?
100% they do.
There's a bunch of
I
really
taught a
great
woman how to
females.
tattoo.
Did you?
Yeah.
But why is it? I mean, isn't it primarily men in this industry, or no? Am I just not seeing it? I mean,
I feel like there's just recently been a surge of female tattoo artists. I think it was predominantly male in the beginning, like back in the day in the 50s, when traditional tattoos was the only style.
did they do it back then?
Yeah.
Has the process changed throughout the
Oh
years?
yeah. 100%.
In what way?
Every way. So they
Really?
the sanitation mostly. Back
Did they have the
then,
same type of tools though, or?
no. Like this machine here, so it's wireless, and so it just runs off this battery basically. This right here is the cartridge.
Okay.
So I just take this off and throw that away.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So then each time you have brand new needles.
Oh yes, that's important. Huh?
Very important. So, yeah, so all the contamination is kept here. So, and then I wrap the rest of this, to make sure I don't get anything on it.
Okay. What did they used to do? Same needle or something?
Not wrap it. These are old school machines right here.
So there would be a
so bad.
cord that would attach here that was the power supply, and you'd have to wrap the cord.
And how did that tattoo somebody?
Uh,
That's crazy looking.
Yeah,
It looks
so-
scary to me.
Yeah,
Like a
so-
guillotine,
right. There's like a tube like this that goes in the bottom of that, and then the needle goes through the middle of it.
Is that your artwork up there too?
That one?
Yeah.
No, it's a friend of mine.
Okay. I was just wondering what's behind that one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So why do you love animals so much? What's your passion about animals? I'm just curious.
I think I'm just good at it.
Do you have animals?
I have 2 dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was wondering.
I just like animals. I
And
think
this is a cool print. Who did that, or you just bought it?
I just bought it. That
That's
one.
a cool print.
Yeah, I like that one.
When you see something of art, what strikes you first? Coloring, the drawing. Is there anything in particular, or if you see somebody with crappy tattoos or with really great tattoos, what would be the difference if I were just walking down the street?
Well, a lot of it, like for instance, tattoos, like in my opinion, what makes a good tattoo from a bad tattoo is if you can see it from across the room and you can tell what it is.
Ah, yes, very good.
So you don't ever want anybody to ask you,
What is that?
Because that makes you feel like crap about your tattoo.
That's right.
You know, so like, you want them to be like, wow, that's a cool whatever. You know?
What'd you do? Who did that?
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question is, how much of your business is referral based versus new client?
I'd say he's probably at a solid 50-50 right now.
50-50.
It's especially since we've moved here, I feel like a lot of his clients, or maybe their first tattoo with David, they're already booking sessions to do their next piece.
Do people get addicted to it? Like they want more and more?
In a sense,
In a
yes.
sense, for sure.
Because you see what your skin looks like with the tattoo, and you're like, oh man, that looks cool. Now I want more. Or now, like, this part of my arm feels empty. So then the next thing you know, you start out with like one thing here, and you've got a full sleeve.
If you don't feel, you feel like you need it.
Right.
I get
Or
a
they-
lot of people that feel like they're off balance,
Oh, really?
so they need like something on the
Balance it
other
out.
side.
How do they feel off balance? I don't get it. Like,
Well, so
You know,
I started with this sleeve here, and when I only had this tattoo, I just felt like I was like heavier on one side, so I had to like balance it
'cause
out.
everybody's
with
gonna look at
something.
that,
Right.
right?
And so the other side of me felt empty, so I did a big thigh piece
Got it.
to try to balance it out and offset it, so it didn't seem like I was so heavy on one side with the dark ink.
Is there a lot of people or a population that do this and then regret it? Do you think?
I don't think very many people with tattoos.
People usually think through it pretty well before they're here.
Well, if they're here,
Well, just anywhere, if they were to
Right,
get a tattoo,
if
if they
they
thought
would.
about it, because a lot of people, I was gonna ask this question too, you know, down in Deep Ellum,
Mhm.
where all the bars are, right? And
Oh,
people
yeah.
go get tattoos after they've been drinking, will you do that? Is there a danger to that?
oh, 100%.
What happens?
Well, first of all, drunk people are annoying.
Well, yeah, for
You know,
sure.
and they never sit still.
Right,
I don't drink, so I don't want to smell it.
right.
You know, it's just like
But why would they say health-wise?
health-wise. So health-wise, it can definitely make you bleed more.
I see, because your blood's thinner, huh?
Yeah, it is a thing. Like I've done it before, and they bleed more, and usually don't last through the tattoo because they're drinking and just
Oh,
can't
geez.
focus. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't sit still, mess up, move, so the lines get messed
Well, that's what
up.
always fascinated me, is they say don't do it, but then you have tattoo next to a bar, you know?
Well, that's all because of zoning.
Oh, okay.
In the state of Texas, most cities won't let you have a tattoo shop.
They won't?
I live in Flower Mound. I have to work out here because they won't allow it in Flower Mound, Plano, Frisco. They will allow it in
McKinney?
Plano, Frisco, McKinney, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Why?
It's because they don't want tattooers in their.
How can they judge that though? Like,
Exactly.
There's still
are they saying it's a bad
stigma.
crowd to
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
into the city?
Yeah.
They still attach the stigma of biker gangs to
I-
tattoo
oh,
shops. Like you think of like I feel like when most people think of a tattoo shop, they think of like your basic walk-in shop filled with big burly biker dudes that are covered in tattoos and like a really loud buzzing from the old tattoo machines.
I see.
And I think that's what the cities still associate tattoos with. They don't realize that they've evolved to this level and that they
Right.
are a high dollar luxury.
So this is a politician thing
item.
basically to control their city, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That figures if you have more control. Texas has a lot of those weird things, like you
Yeah.
can do this here, but you can't do it over here.
Right. And
It's not this business, it's a lot of them in Texas. So.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I could bring a nice place
Sure.
like flower mound
And a tax base, right?
yeah, and really do well for me and the community
Yeah.
and like everything, and provide people with good tattoos instead of crappy ones.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, all
Because they're
those
gonna go
things.
somewhere to get it if they want it.
Right, and like if you don't like tattoo shops, just don't come in.
Exactly.
Like, how hard is that?
Exactly.
You know?
You can, you can have a strip club or whatever, but you can't have a tattoo shop.
Right, doesn't make any sense.
Well, thank you so much,
You're
David.
welcome.
It was so nice meeting both of you, Kelsey.
For
And
sure.
I really appreciate you teaching me how to do all. I mean, what this I've always wondered all my whole life.
Yeah.
And so this has been really cool, and I really appreciate your time.
For sure.
Tell everybody how to find you online.
I'm gonna let her tell.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you can find us on Instagram at David Mushaney Tattoos, or you can find us at our webpage, which is dmtattoos.com.
And they're good. They're great. Look at all that. Go get them.
The beautiful flower in progress.
Bake it in.